time is starting to dwindle here for Empire.
You hear one of the toxic canisters come out, tossed by Bosco. There's still one left, so he's used one earlier on in the round. Those Rotaro drones from Shepard doing the soft destruction work that is absent now with the sledge not in play. Joystick gets a mark with the stun as Shepard goes for the plant, but there's nobody. Does anybody know? Rampy, look how close you are. You're going to have to deal with this, but he'll be involved in a bout with Dan and Scyther and Joystick. Everybody getting in on the kills, and even though the first one goes to SSG, that's all they're going to get because it's a lethal execution from Empire to kill every single member of SSG. His utility is used up, or at least used up for now, as he can go right back on it with 3 remaining. Space Station right now having a numbers advantage. They trail in terms of the round count, but they've got a nice set on the site. But for whatever reason, Hot and Cold decides to play aggressively. He'll swing on to Scyther, and Scyther's been great with that gun so far today. Rampy falls, Shepard's in the site, Diffuser going down, but they trade it off. And just like that, Shepard realizes he's only got Dan to watch. Doing a great job so far, by the way, as thinking Nate will need to be the hero. He doesn't see it. Dan has been so good through these 2 rounds, and SSG have looked limp on their retake. First confrontation happening with 30 seconds left in the round. Joystick's going to be the one to try to do that. Space Station quadrupled up in the same spot. Hot and Cold goes down, the very first casualty in this round. With perfect timing left. It'll be traded back with Bosco picking up a big double piece, always equalizing in a 3v3. Dan bursts into the middle of the site. Bosco goes down. A pinch coming in as Joystick's been dropped as well. Thinking Nate collecting that one. Still patrolling white stairs. He sees Dan, but he doesn't want to engage. He's only got 5 seconds left. Playing the clock is most important. Rampy down below, but he doesn't have access to a nitro cell. They know where he is, but nobody's able to stop him, so Dan will do Overwatch, shuts down Thinking Nate on the re-entry. Dan, 6-0 right now. Diffuser goes down, Rampy on the retake, takes out Always. Damage done to Dan, very limited HP as these two will joust with each other. Both exceptionally talented players, either capable of making it work. Rampy trying to poke a fight, just peeking around the corner now in the back bar store. Dan has an angle, line of sight. And he wins it. Beautiful shot from Dan, who is absolutely unstoppable today. Sight looks to be the Yana clone. Is that the real one? No, it isn't. It was Scyther on his gadget, so not just us fooled, but them as well. Rampy doesn't have Bosco to support, as all the focus from Empire is over by Freezer, and now they're in. Always with a kill onto Fultz. The numbers will continue to get worse for Space Station. They answer back. Rampy's still in this pivotal position. The toxic canister misses. Bosco has none left. So Diffuser goes down successfully, and the SMG is what Bosco needs to do to take the fight. Punished by Shepard as Rampy is now above and finds himself in a tough spot. Dan, call him the janitor because he's been doing an absolute cleanup. It's 4-0 for Empire. Only one panel ends up getting opened up.
Yeah, had to throw it low for that to happen, and SSG getting aggressive. They'll get 2. Rampy with a 3rd. There's a little bit of an answer back there from Dan, but he is too far away to save it
around the bomb site. Despite all this, they're still giving it their college try. And Dan jumps down, but no, he's finally been finished off. Fultz gets the trophy that he needs, and Shepard realizes with only 5 seconds left, there's very little he can do. A nice semi-impactless kill, and he's got another for him, but they're not going to give him that very last kill. Despite that, it still gets a little bit too close for comfort for SSG, who finally break their silence and pick up their first. Almost unkillable for, what, 2 straight seasons there. Everybody wanted to talk about Joystick, but Dan was off in the start of the show. And now it's up to Shepard, but what happens there is Empire just, this is the field upon which they reap, and Dan in particular gets 2 big kills, but that'll be it for him. Fultz is able to exploit the fact that nobody from Empire was looking in that particular direction. The 2 remaining players from Space Station now have quite a tough job on their hands as Hot and Cold falls back. The rising tides of Empire will continue to crash against the shores of Space Station. 45 seconds for Empire to be able to pull this one off, and a nice shot, but it's not enough as the clone goes down. So does Fultz, and nearly a flawless round will seal the first half, and Empire put a stamp on those 6 rounds by taking 5.
And now he continues to hold that white hallway dominantly.
Joystick's the next one, but it poor characteristic on his end as he misses his shots. Thinking he needs the first one to die from SSG, but Fultz is just walking in large and in charge. Shepard takes him down. His reign of terror is over as both kills now sit on Shepard's shoulder. He's got marks, and he has a nitro cell in hand. It'll go up. Did they dance around it? Yes, it has. Has Shepard pulled trigger just yet? What? No. He manages to take out Hot and Cold. It goes off, but it's the wrong target prioritization, so SSG is able to get that diffuser planted, and up the stairs Shepard must descend. Match point awaits Empire if they're successful here, but Shepard has already wasted about 10 seconds as he miscalculates on red stairs. That's where he's going to go. He has no intel and no idea where they are. He's going to be making a ton of noise as he goes to retake. No Nomad on the board, so he doesn't need to worry about that. But there will be sights trained from Space Station in the direction that he goes, and it's a shot to the thigh that ends up being his undoing. Bosco capitalizes, and Space Station picks up round drone to be doing most of the work. Get it in, see where they are, and then have it possibly stop them. Depending on where it is, a yokai drone would be perfect. There's only 20 seconds left, by the way, for Space Station to pull this one off. They break into the site. There goes the yokai drone. Candelas go off as it's a rave in the back of the site. And oh, missed opportunity as Rampy blinds everyone around him. He doesn't see was there, and he gets flattened for it. And all of a sudden, Empire has the lead. They try to swing onto the diffuser, but thank goodness for Hot and Cold above. Thinking Nade 2 picks up his second kill. Dan on the retake. He's got some marks. Lion will stop them but for now, so their positions are given away. Scyther's on 1 HP. This is going to be extremely difficult, especially since Hot and Cold has not relinquished hold on that top floor. Anybody who walks through the double doors towards the diffuser will be gunned down quite easily. Dan finds the Lion of Bosco. Down he goes, and he's managed to evade the buck above. Continuing to work towards that diffuser slowly but surely. The problem is going to be the time. He's on it, and they know that they're going to try to push it through the main door. He sticks this. Scyther watching. He's getting pushed for it. Down he goes. Hot and Cold is in, and he'll clutch up huge. That's why SSG picked him up. And despite how close it was, Space Station stitched together 2 rounds.
Earlier. Fultz in the main lobby is going to be massive for his team as he starts creeping up on the roamer inside of VIP and Whiskey. He gets 1 for free and almost a second. No, Dan will beat him out despite having the advantage in that gunfight. Thinking Nate Bosco left the last 2, but there's firm control of Kochek as Scyther goes down by the main door. Dan has been hitting his shots. Through this map, he's been absolutely phenomenal, and he's still up. His gun is still alive. Can Thinking Nate and Bosco handle a half HP Dan? Here come the stuns. The EE1D to make these defenders stand still. Always gets the teammate there. Bosco gets 1 down. It's Dan and Bosco in the 1v1, but time is of the essence, and SSG just won't be able to make it happen. Empire get their first defensive round and match point.
Opponent's team there to greet you. They'll cut off a couple lines of sight with those smokes. Lion goes out. Candelas will as well as Rampy drops in. Fultz leads things off. Thinking Nade wastes no time to get that fuser down. And SSG are just sweeping right through the site. Get out the brooms. But Joystick has some other ideas. He takes out Hot and Cold. At the current moment, Empire do trail in terms of numbers, and they're still spam pinging away. Scyther, oh, a missed opportunity on the Bosco. He had backup with Thinking Nade not too far off, and now it falls all on the shoulders of Joystick, who still has some marks, but Rampy pivots, and a war cry echoes from the SSG bench as they manage to stave off defeat in that overtime. They are very close to being able to pull this one off. The Lions and the Candelas go out, and that will signal the start of the execute, but a smoke expertly tossed will stop Rampy from being able to take up much ground. He'll trudge through it anyway, taking a heap of damage. Oh. Dan shuts down Thinking Nade. He gets punished for that. Shepard dropped as Hot and Cold breaks on in. They've swept their way through reading, but right now always is better, and Joystick has not been removed from his spot. He looks over to the left, and Bosco is left in a 1v3 to try to hold the line for his team. Empire seem all but certain to put this one away with Bosco on such a sliver of HP. This is a thankless task. He'll trudge in, look to the right, gives himself away, but the time just doesn't work. Joystick holds it down, and SSG's map goes to Empire by a score of 7-4.
By Bosco. And there will be some follow-up with some soft destruction because Bosco's going for the trick. There you go. Wall tricked. Oh, C4 from Shepard, but he doesn't toss it. Dan will get the lead-off kill. Down goes Fultz, and there's the toss. A little belated, but eliminated the Jackal regardless.
Almighty fine stuff there from Empire to start.
Absolutely terrible vibes from the SSG attacks. Nice shot there from Rampy, but Joystick is there to get the re. Thinking Nade now on about 15 HP. Yeah, he's got to find 4 full HP targets. Not going to happen. He won't even get Joystick.
Oh, a drop shot.
Turned on there.
The drop shotty Bugatti.
And it worked out for Joystick very well.
He's got his work cut out for him as he'll approach over blue, and there's some heavy gunners from Empire that'll be there waiting for him. Hear the blowtorch working away on the panel, so Scyther's prepared for that one. This intel is known, and Joystick knows the Ash is coming now. He's aggressively taking the fight. Joystick does not lose those. The Cyborg is back, baby! 2 big kills from his position, and SSG are just running into their doom. It's only Thinking Nade getting that diffuser planted, but they'll stop him in his tracks. Empire look unstoppable right now, and they're up 2-0. The first one is going to be opening up the main breach, and then applying some pressure on that regard. Well, you've still got a hard destructor, but Fultz is currently going 0-3. Bosco's been downed as Empire just taking the fights to SSG and just farming them for sport at this point.
Yep.
Rampy and the side of it that could be his undoing. The moment that Banshee goes off, Rampy is going to be in tough here, but he just pushes in, taking the fight right to them. Down goes Scyther. A round that was originally out of their grasp is now very winnable as SSG are cleaning up. Always punishes Thinking Nade, so Rampy will have to do it all on his own. With limited intel and limited time, he finds himself in a 1v1 and narrowly makes that one a 1v0 and gives his team the round. Picking up the case, he'll go for the defuse. Marks in, and there's a Nitro cell for Always, but he botches it and hits it just because of how low Rampy was. There's enough damage done to him. And like that, it's 3-0 for him.
Be able to make that conversion happen from the clear to the site hit. Fult's trying to creep up on Ren, and it looks like Scyther's aware of this. But does he know where the Ash is going? The answer is yes. What a flick, and Shepard and Dan get one apiece also. The nade from Bosco will land after he's dead, but Scyther, now free to peek from server window, will get another for himself. Rampy alone, and he's been pretty incredible. But Empire's defense has been does limit your kit. It looks like they want to go. Okay, no. To Thinking Nade's credit, this is a very difficult toss because of that extra little tiny bit of wall there. But he's frustrated with it, and that's going to compound in the other frustration from losing all those rounds.
You talked about how this was a relatively hard toss to make. Always might be present or just there to do it himself, but
he misses.
He misses it as well. Everybody is missing it on the same panel. All the while this happened, Dan took the fight to SSG, and now Space Station will have to confront the close angle play of Shepard. Scyther gunning down hot and cold, so this timeout for SSG not working. A ring around the Rosie through the doorway to Moto as teams trade back and forth. Fultz finds his very first kill, but he's going to have to find 2 more with 5 seconds left. The diffuser miles away. This round is completely over. 5-0 for Empire. Rampy taking damage as he walks in. That sound, by the way, is going to be given away to Always playing above on rafters. Flashbang will go up. There's no real protection. Always botches the C4. C4 down goes Shepard. And Always will now have to worry about the grenade going up near him. Scyther picks up another as Always will tussle from this corner. There's one still beneath him that he needs to be wary of as a grenade goes by, but it doesn't do enough damage. Scyther next to fall as they will double up on him, and Always right now has the attention of the 3 members of SSG, and he will need to be picked away at as finally, with the very final round of this half, Space Station gets on the
miss. He does no damage, and it costs him an impact, and he's getting cut off, and he won't make it out of that
That's
one alive.
That's the kind of thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
Try to have that confidence, but Hot and Cold is such an accurate aimer. He's mechanically gifted. He doesn't miss those opportunities, and yet he does. Why? Why? Because Space Station are in their own heads with the scoreline being what it is. The good news for them is that even though they lose Hot and Cold, they still pick up 2 kills on the Empire, one of which ends up being Joystick.
No,
Dan has managed to wake his way in though, but there's a crossfire potential, and what an unbelievable start to their defense as SSG just whisks away Empire. Still has those toxic canisters, 2 of which can very easily impede the advances along with the barbed wire. One will go off, and with 25 seconds left, another can be thrown down to protect himself and cover his behind. You're going to wait for the rush on in as the Selmas go off, and Scyther is in the bomb site getting the diffuser planted. Rampy is all aware of this. He gets slaughtered by Dan. Down goes Always, so Dan now pushing up aggressively, thinking it from below will try to do some work, and he'll do it, stopping Scyther in his tracks and getting the other kill as well onto Always. Dan picks up that diffuser, and he goes for the plant. They're going to try to bait him out on time. He's only got 1 second left. No kill. Kill doesn't matter. It's an impressive run from Space Station as they've now put 3 together in a row. Joystick doesn't know if he got it, but he's going to continue to move in anyway. Just firing away at the opening, but he gets swung on by Hot and Cold. Can't do more than one as Shepard gets the trade back. Any trades will benefit Empire as they look to push to match point, but they get gunned down, leaving Thinking Nade defend for the rest of his team. Match point right now awaits Empire. Nitro Cell goes out, Thinking Nade on the fadeaway, but Always gets to him first, and it's match point, series point for Empire. Such close range, so keep an eye on what Rampy does and whether he can have an effect. He's already thrown out 2 of those Guzman mines. Dan goes down, and then Hot and follows. Teams trade off 1 apiece as the action's going to happen much faster than we thought. Fultz can't get the entry from Empire as they look to brisk into the site, and Shepard has the plant going down right in the single panel. Fultz is behind him though, but he gets gunned down by Always, and it looks like Shepard's going to be successful. Yes, he is. He pops up. Always still with the coverage here, and Empire are locking them out, but Rampy tries a re-entry, and it works quite successfully. He's arm in arm with Thinking Nade. They've managed to dwindle Empire's numbers down to just Scyther, who still holds from above. He can watch this. He's got the line of sight. He can fire through the wall, but they're trying to long arm it. Scyther will have to drop at some point, and that's exactly exactly where Thinking Nate is going to be, but no, Thinking Nate peeks when he doesn't need to, and it's Scyther and Rampy in a 1v1. Around blue they'll play. Scyther still watching the angle, and Rampy slaps him down, and he has plenty of time to save the round for his team, and SSG stays alive. But he looks away at the wrong time and manages to net it anyway onto Fultz. That's a crucial player from Space Station who's now down and out. Over on red stairs, Scyther will try his best, but he can't really do all that much. Dan drops. He'll go from down below, and Scyther will have to go through that toxic canister. He gets lit up as Scyther looks through the door. Still, and SSG are holding them at bay. Dan tripped up in the barbed wire. Rampy pistol out, and the kill feed is all SSG's, all blue. 3 seconds left, and it looks like we are going to need a 12th round to settle this one, as Always won't get in the building, and he gets vanquished by Bosco.
Engagement just yet. They can slowly and methodically take this push.
Joystick knows that they're in there, but he needs somebody to help him up on that hatch as he looks in one direction, stops it, and Fultz pre-fires. Still has the attention of Bosco. Down he goes, and Fultz picks up another 3 big kills for Fultz on 1 HP, and it's all left to Dan, who survives a nitro cell, but doesn't survive Rampy, and Space Station pushes overtime. They have to get their act together, because the diffuser is on top of the building, and there's under a minute left to go in the round.
Yeah, this is a very slow clear of the roamers, and Rampy's going to take a little bit of a scuffle there with Shepard. Even exchange. Thinking Nate, I'll swear, will take some damage, but it's a down and a finish off, and uh-oh, SSG. Real bad position now as they find themselves in a 2 versus 4.
To open this up because Scyther was the one who died early on.
They have to
so
go.
They have to go through the dirt tunnel, but there's a doorway blocking them. Hot and Cold distracted by gunfights elsewhere. He starts things off with a kill onto Dan. Empire breaks through dirt tunnel. They kill Bosco, so Hot and Cold will need to clutch. He pulls out the pistol and he can't do it because the sidearm from Joystick is better, and the streak from SSG is over as Empire moves to match point.
Followed up by a nade. There's nobody actually in blue. It's Dan playing by B3. Empire is very clumped together, and as Bosco gets the first pick, Space Station are looking good.
A Dan's party inside of blue as Rampy drops, but Dan is prepared for that. Joystick credit with the kill as Always pushes up aggressively. Fultz out duels him. Dan is ready for the next one on the ground, so Bosco will have to help out. Dan good enough to get the shot on the Fultz and then immediately pivots, but Bosco slaps him away. Shepard will have to hold his team. What are we looking at right now? The attackers are having an absolute bonanza here in overtime, and with the diffuser going down, things go from bad to worse for Empire. Still hold up inside of Church, and how fitting, because Shepard is going to need an absolute miracle right now, with the diffuser still being watched. Halo gunfire going in, and Bosco gets the last kill, and we're going to need 15 rounds to settle this one.
Of the soft barricade, so it's just going to be the hard, and Shepard, easy job there. Fultz, he's done this before. He's done this challenge before. And he's not going to go for it this time. Dan's going to force the initiative, and he's got red control. Hot and Cold's there to potentially get the refrag, but no, he's backing off and re-engaging. I'm not sure what his decision is here, but both of these players ready for each other, forcing the thought, and red is so crucial to the outcome of this round. It's going to be Dan for a second.
You speak the devil's name, and the devil shall appear, Michael. You talked about it, and Dan is now coming up big. SSG are in major trouble. Rampy, though, good enough for one. Tagging on to Scyther, a second lined up around the door frame, always taking some damage from the Roni of Bosco. And a nitro cell goes off, but it's not early enough. Bosco falls. Rampy has so much work that needs to be done. Being tracked away, he tries to contend with the Maverick, out-dueling as he has multiple angles to cover, but Empire just breeze on in. The dream for Space Station has become a nightmare, and Thinking Nate finds himself in a 1v4. They came so close, but Thinking Nate's return to the top of the stairs gets caught, and Empire move on to the semifinals.